Myectomy.
Exactly. So I found out late last year that I had fibroids because I noticed that there was a protrusion in my stomach, which didn't make sense because I'm quite athletic, I eat healthy. I mean, for my job, I'm supposed to be, in top shape. So I'm always trying to make sure that I'm in shape. So, but there was always a protrusion. So I went to the doctors to check what was going on. And when they checked, they said, oh, you have a huge fibroid that you need to take out now.
But you have a huge
Yes.
fibroid. Wow.
And I was like, okay. So I needed to get other, opinions from different places. Exactly. For things like that, you can't just go to one doctor.
One source. I like
and
that.
say, okay, cool. So I actually spoke to a few friends of mine. They were like, you need to get other opinions from different doctors. So I went to a different hospital to do another scan. And they also confirmed that, we had multiple fibroids in different places.
Multiple?
I was like, that explains a lot of things because I've been trying to shake this stomach. It has not been going. So what was this? So immediately I thought, you know what, I need to take this out. And I got the confidence from my big sister also had fibroids and she took hers out. But she's plump, like a little, heavier than I am. And so her stomach was more visible. So we all knew, oh, she's got fibroids, she needs to take it out. So when she did her surgery, they said it's genetic, so I should go check. But I never really did because I could still wear, my tight clothes. You guys have seen me in clothes. I never really had to think of, the fact that something might be wrong with Adina. So when I found out, the decision to do surgery came easy to me because my sister had already gone through it. It made it a more comfortable conversation for me to have because I lived in the hospital for a week with my sister to take care of her. And this was in 2017 or something like that. Like 3 years ago. So I was still an active person in the industry, but I still went to the hospital. So it's something that I saw with my eyes. I saw my sister go through. So it was easy for me to say, okay, you know what, I also want to go and do this surgery. So February, I actually wanted to do it sometime this year, early this year, and then the president came and said the spike in the COVID-19 is gone up. There's a spike, so it was for Val's Day. There wasn't going to be any performances. All concerts have been cancelled. I was like, you know what? This is the best time because I don't have work, and most artists are going to have to stay home for the longest time. So it's the best time to go into surgery and and the recovery and all that. So yeah, I just took the step and I went and did it at the Tema Women's Hospital.
You weren't scared?
I think I went through different phases. It wasn't serious fear because, like I said, my sister had gone through it. But for me, it was like, oh, what's going to happen? How am I going to cope after the fact? Like, how much time do I have to heal to come back to work? Because I'm a workaholic.
I know.
I love my job. And so I didn't want it to take forever. But I spoke to the doctors. They calmed me down. I spoke to different people. So by the time I went for surgery, I was mentally, spiritually, physically ready to get rid of, fibroids. So yeah, but I also decided to share with the world my journey and things like that because once I went through it, I had always wanted to do a charity or something like a corporate social responsibility. And I was picking different topics. But when this fibroid situation came up, it felt like the best thing to get into because it's something I have experienced personally. So it's easier for me to connect with the people I'm trying to raise awareness or funds for, whatever it is, because it's my story as well. So I decided, I'm going to do this. So we did a whole documentary before I went to the hospital, whilst I was in the hospital, whilst I was in the theater and everything, just to be able to raise enough awareness about it because apparently, I found out late when I got to that. Fibroids is something that happens to a lot of Black women. It's very common in Black women, not as common in Caucasian women. But for most Black women, 40% of us have a chance of growing it whilst we're pregnant. So it's that common.